It's now Marco Piva's turn. He too operates in Italy and abroad, and as an architect and designer. Marco, it's great to have you with us and have you share your vision.
Okay, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. And I want to say thank you also to the people from Italian Trade Agency, because I want to show what I have here, that is Beauty by Design. That is the book that we printed the last year, exactly this time. So thank you to you for giving us the opportunity last year to meet with our counterpart there, that is the Shamut company, one of the top company in construction and management company in USA, that are merging with us, and they are our really important, let's say, counterpart there in USA. I want to start quickly to bring you through our design world. It's going to be something like in physics, what they say, jumping from one state to another. But the main point for us is Beauty by Design as a target. I think that any project that is conceived in terms of architecture and design should pursue this kind of approach. So 1 second that we start. Can we start? You have it? Can you see?
Can you see full screen?
Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Yes, perfect.
So this is the book that we issued last year. And this is a reference for us. It's a beautiful fresco from Raffaello. And this is a word that I in my mind as inspiration. Place where we have philosopher, we have
Sina, Eva, this is Teddy's.
Sorry? Okay. Can I go ahead?
Yes.
I heard some voices. Okay, so this is a reference for us, you know, for our activity of designing and inventing things. My DNA, I have to say, is from Milano. Milano is a tiny city compared to the huge, big cities around the world, but there is something there that allow us, you know, to go around, to go to New York, to go to Shanghai, and to feel somehow at home. Because here, even it's a little city, we feel the same, let's say, energy, the same curiosity for the future, as Maestro said before. This is the area where we are working around, you know, traveling around. So we're working from east to west and north to south. And it's a pleasure for us because for me, it's like to be constantly involved in research, experimentation, confrontation with different cultures. Our activity, as you said, is bringing down, you know, from scale, from master planning to architecture to interior design, exhibition, industrial design. From the beginning, when I started to my let's say course at the university at Milano Polytechnic, they say you can do nothing or you can do the whole thing, you know. So you can go from spoon to city if you like, and I kept this, you know, as a guiding line. So I try always to jump from here to there, you know, different scale, because when I find something interesting at the big scale, I like to bring something at the smaller one and combine things and materials and, you know, components of the design. And this is really pleasure for me, you know. So our work, our team is working on this, like sometimes seems to be confused environment, you know, but at the end I find that is very rich and exciting. We try to focus on certain kind of keywords, you know, like innovation, intensity, energy, all these elements, you know, that come out from our design. That means that I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want to go for a certain kind of style. And even for design, I don't want to design just for the mass, you know, but I design because I like design. I like to express myself, maybe one single object or maybe an object that become later, you know, part of mass production. But I'm really interested in investigation, research, to try to find something new. So from urban design, we go from different level, different countries, you know, to develop concept. This is, for instance, China is super huge master plan. We succeeded to win this competition. And now with the needed time, the Chinese are going to build this kind of waterfront, you know, that is a closest place on the seaside, closer to Beijing. Also, the design of architecture is recalling elements from the past, like old Chinese sail in this residential and hospitality complex. Or another point very important for us in developing now the master planning project is to keep the green light, you know, in focus in front of us, because green, not because of the trees, but green in terms of general terms of sustainability is our focus point, and we try to take this at the different level. So this is, for instance, a project that we won in Dianshan on the lake nearby Shanghai, where we succeed to reduce the masses, you know, of the construction to give more pleasant green area all around to this residential and hospitality complex. This is coming a focus point also for residential buildings. We are working a lot on this. This project that you see now, we call it Next 21, but it's an old project that I did in Japan. Was an anti-seismic kind of structure, but the configuration was linked to the Milanese courtyard houses, you know, but in a super contemporary kind of design with metal, ceramic metal panels on the wall outside. You can change the position of the windows. You can play a lot with the configuration of the building. And at the same time, we succeed to reduce 30% of the energy consumed inside the building. That was a really super target. Now, we are bringing these ideas, you know, to combine architecture, interior, use of the material to create green areas, create a new architecture. This is a project that is under construction now in Milano, for instance, where we try to give life to the structure. This is a residential building. It is not a luxury building, but we want to introduce a concept of a community. So it's a building that combines different dimensions of apartments, you know, with a lot of green around, with like a square that is coming into the ground level, to say that this building belonging to the city. The city is made by this building. There is no separation anymore between the two elements. There is continuity between master planning, urban design, and architecture. These are some of the pictures of the new architecture that we are developing, where the green is really leading the design. And this is, for instance, the configuration of the rooftop, where we have some penthouses and apartments surrounded by green. Now we launched this idea of the green wave. It's a project that is aimed to bring the green on the roof, combined with the energy production, like from photovoltaic panels, use of the material. This is, as mentioned before, mirage material that is a special kind of ceramic. So the combination of material, masses, surfaces, are giving us the chance to develop new concepts. These are some of the projects that we are developing in the Middle East. This has already finished. We don't have the final pictures, but has been developed there. You know, we're taking care of special kind of environment. The center is like a square protected by these two bending residential building. Private home is very important for us because it's an experimental area where we have to do sometimes, how can I say, bespoke design everywhere, but where we can investigate about shape, about effect, about use of light and so on. We are coming now to USA. This is a project that we are building, and it's nearly finished now in California. We did it with the support of local architects BA, and it's one of the 5 different villas that we are building around there on the top of a canyon. And again, the geometry, it is a little bit crazy, you know, but has been designed because this building is embracing the view of the canyon, and in the far deep view, you have in front of you Venice and the seaside. This is a vision of the building during the night. And this is interior, the continuity of architecture and interior design. I don't like the expression of arredamento, furnishing. Interior is a part of architecture. And so it's a design that we develop now. It's a little bit complicated to realize it, but we succeeded to do it, you know. And it's a special kind of configuration where the staircase is part of this inner sculpture. This is something that we are very keen to develop, the spa, place where the people, they like to stay and relax. And here the use of material and light is very strategic. You can see that Here the sunlight is coming through special kind of patterns, and playing with the water. This is another private villa that is under construction now there in Los Angeles. And this is opposite Shanghai. We won a competition. There were 5 super luxury villas, and we won the competition. We are building 2 of them. This is one of these. Nearly 5,000 square meters of private villa, something very unbelievable. And this is the configuration of the front view, where we don't want to show the entrance from right at the beginning, but is hidden by this big waterfall. And I think that it is material that has been dematerialized by the use of light. This is going to be finished very soon. I will show you in the next future the final result. Hospitality is one of the main activity for us. We design a lot of hotels. Now hotels is changing a lot. We are trying to bring housing concept inside the hotel, and we are using the hotel configuration to fill with new services the design of a residential building. Hospitality is very important. As I said, we try to go sometimes extreme. This is in Venice, where we create this super big glass roof, to protect the docking area for private boats. These are the interior, like a navy design touch. And again, this is another very important element for our design that is not only for Italy, but we discover also China too, Europe for sure, where you have to face a renovation of buildings that should come back to a new life. Like it's a big hotel. We won a lot of awards for this, has been developed in Milano. And here, the complexity of design forced us to realize more than 5,000 design, 5,000 drawings. And we had to deal with a lot of engineers, specialized in different countries, different, let's say, activities. And we had a sort of leading and coordination work, to combine the whole thing to make them harmonize. This is the interior. So it's very surprising because we tried to give one style, to the whole building. Even the building was combined by 2 different blocks. One was historical and the other one new and modern. Inside, we work with the top companies like B&B, like Casina, Floss, and so on. Here is a special space where we also like to design the sound. So this is a place where you have the seats that disappear in the floor, and they come up when you need, and this is a strange kind of acoustic space with more than 600 shaped elements that are backlighted to create this special kind of light and sound effect you can experiment when you go there. Again, material, I don't believe that materials, some of the materials are dead. For instance, marble, it is not for sure. I like to play with it, to engrave it, to make it transparent, to make it light, to make it bending. And you see here, this is one of the spa that I designed, and some of the sinks that I designed using marble. This is some of the internal, let's say, elements of spaces of the Gallia. This is a Katara suite. We won for 4 years the best private super suite in the world, not because we said that it's super, but the people, they came and they say, why? We like it so much, and that is the reason why it's been awarded. Here's another space, and the swimming pool. We like to play with these elements where the light is coming in and out, and these sort of diamond that you see on the roof, they are not only lamps, but they bring also ventilation and air inside. This is a project that is under construction now, Lamborghini Towers in Chengdu. We try to be very simple, very elegant. This is a building, now is nearly finished. And the interior is a combination of materials, light effects, and particular kind of emotional spaces like the spa here. And we have also a theater inside. So we try to combine the elements. As I said before, when we have the chance, this is a big building because it's combined by 180 meters towers placed on top of a podium. And we suggested to mix the elements inside and to have even a theater, shopping mall, homes, hotels. So it's going to be like a little city. I want to go quickly to the different projects that we are doing around the world. And again, there is something that is linking design to architecture. This is a project we have now in Beijing. We won a competition for this. And it's like a big object, you know, but as for an object, we are studying, and we studied the facade, because the facade is a reactive facade with inside the photovoltaic elements combined with the glass. And this is answering to the need of be sustainable, as we said before. I go quickly to the end, as maybe you know, we're working around the world also for retail. We have been designing for Bulgari show windows around the world for 4 years. And these are some of the windows that we design. And this is New York, Fifth Avenue, Bulgari shop that changed the look, you know, in the years. And it's very interesting to see how a little object like a jewel, like a watch, you know, is coming so strong to be part of the city scene. So there is a big relation between a little design object, you know, with the city itself, you know. Last element, aerospace. We are working on, maybe you have been here. We designed for Alitalia the special Alitalia lounges that are places where the people that can enjoy the spirit of traveling by Italy, from Italy, and the idea of the food, of the material, the marble, the light, the artworks that are inside, you know. And then we went even to design the interior of this J7000 Bombardier airplane with some details about, you know, the touch controls and the special kind of seats, you know, that are facing the future, you know. These are part of the design that we do. Very simple, very strong elements where we always like to use and to play with the material. Like glass, I did a lot of researches on glass, you know, but not only from the industrial point of view, but with the artisan. How to be there beside them to see how they create the magic of these elements. I want to stop here because I took a lot of time, but it was a really pleasure to me to bring through this very, very deep, let's say, travel inside my work. So thank you for your attention.
Marco, I have a quick question for you. You kind of mentioned it in your presentation. I'm talking about the hospitality industry. Do you see it as a conduit for an increase in the international demand of Italian design products, especially now that you say you're thinking about hotels like more a home than a hotel?
Yes, I think so, because you know, Italy, I mean, our philosophy is not to repeat in a massive way a certain kind of solution. You see that my design is variating, you know, because we work with all the major brands around the world, you know, but we succeeded also with this brand like Marriott, like Starwood, you know, to create something special and different, you know. And the people, when they travel, they like to be in a place that is different, even if the brand is the same, you know. They like to feel that there is something that is rooted there, that has a link with the local culture, and the product that we design is a more soft and friendly and emotional element, you know, not only a functional element. And I think that Italy could say a lot, not only because of the design, but also because of the combination of designer sensitivity and let's say skillness of the manufacturer. As I said, sometimes you don't need a super big manufacturer, but you can maybe relate it to a good artisan, or maybe the big company can use artisan to create something unique and different. So I believe that at least my idea of combining something that is coming from house design, home design, into hospitality gives the chance to the traveler to feel in a better place. Not only because of the wow, you know, you cannot win only because you have a wow effect. You have to do it, you know, but because you feel comfortable, you feel relaxed, you find your environment around you gentle and friendly.
Thank you, Marco.